I found that it's the practicalities of life that have taught me most, particularly at a period when I was trying with great difficulty to go through the pain of giving up, of divorcing my husband, the person I love most, so that he could live his own life more fully. During that intense period, I was trying desperately to have an unpossessive love, reading everything I could and trying very difficult to be loving. And at that period, I had a peak experience of knowing, not hoping, not believing, not just having faith, but knowing that God was within. This completely changed my life. And when I met my friends the next day, they sort of looked at me and said, "What's happened to you? You look different. Your voice has changed." So powerful is just touching the fringes of our own divinity. And that, of course, made a tremendous background for me to go on. And later on, when I was living alone for the first time, a thought kept coming to me, a thought which said, "Stop and listen and write down. Stop and listen." Well, I paid no attention because I didn't trust or understand what was being told me from within. But eventually, it was so persistent that I did eventually stop and listen. And then this still small voice within gave me the most wonderful inspirational thoughts, which I put into English with the aid of a dictionary and a thesaurus beside me, because I don't see anything or hear anything. It's just an inner at one-ment. And I had a tremendous learning period of going into the dimensions of the human soul, of exploring what great beings we are in our inner selves, of going to the depths and the heights, always emerging from this experience a happier person, a more loving person, hoping it would last a little bit longer each time. This blending and this teaching, which became my Bible, always brought me back into everyday living. It never took me out of it. It always brought me down into living in the consciousness of that oneness that I was experienced within in my everyday life. We say now things like, "Brush your teeth with me." Try to do everything in that consciousness. It was during this period I also became aware that I had a dual nature, which I believe most of us have, a deeper area which is wonderfully wise and loving and free and creative, and the personality area, which in my case, I thought was very uncreative and very ordinary. I believe that our task as human beings is to bring these two areas together into one wholeness.